Hey everyone, Al Fragnoli, Zach Sooty, League of Leaders. We're joined this evening by Chris Whiting. Chris is the video coordinator of player development for the New York Yankees. Chris, thanks a lot for coming on with us this evening.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on, guys. Great to catch up here. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We're excited to be chatting with you tonight. We got a couple questions on the docket for you. First one is you've been involved in a variety of different roles within baseball. You've been an intern with the Pittsburgh Pirates. You've worked in their video operations department in player development with the Pirates. You've been with the New York Yankees for the last 5 years or so now. Tell us a little bit about your journey in the sports world and what brought you into the current role in which you're in today.
Sure. So starting off, I was a sport management major at UMass Amherst. During my time there, I interned for the Amherst College baseball team for a semester during the summers from upstate New York, the Albany area. So I had the luxury of having a minor league team there at the Tri-City Valley Cats. I worked with them for a couple of years. So pretty early on, knew I wanted to work in baseball, which was definitely an advantage. And then was fortunate to land the internship with you guys and Brady, Alex, some of the previous guests, and from there got into video during the time in the internship with you guys. Being at Pirate City, had the opportunity to talk to some of the pitching coaches, talk to the video coordinator, some of the player development guys. So it was a great opportunity anyway. But some of the opportunities that we had there to get some real face-to-face time and get to know some of the people within the industry really helped that transition into video. And then from there, I spent a couple years in minor league video with the Pirates. Was in Pittsburgh for a year as a major league video assistant, and then came over to the Yankees here. Spent a couple years in affiliated ball. Pat Hafner, another internship mate of ours, he facilitated that move over to the Yankees, sort of connected me, and then once I came over here, like I said, 2 years of affiliated ball, and then this past season was my third year as a video coordinator here. So that's sort of been my path. And then moving forward, I want to be a big league video coordinator. I enjoy the video side of things. So that's sort of the next step for me. Obviously happy with where I'm at right now, but always got to keep grinding, and that's the next step for me, hopefully. So
awesome, Chris. Good to see you as always. Good catching up with you. Baseball operations, player development, scouting, analysts now are some key positions that many people want to get into, but are often tough to come by. So what are some suggestions that you could give someone looking to get into some of these roles within baseball?
Sure. So it's tough. It's tough right now. Obviously with this past year, that's not making things any easier. There are a lot of quality candidates out there. There are a lot of people with relevant experience already looking for these same positions that people who might be trying to break in are also looking for. My advice is always to make yourself an asset. Market yourself as an asset to a team. It's sort of expected at this point, that everybody's a hard worker, that you're a quick learner, you're a people person. Those are all strong. Those are things that you need to be able to do. But being able to actually provide value to the organization is a way to set yourself apart. If you can come in day one and you have history writing scouting reports, if you know SQL or R, if you have experience doing a statistical analysis on players, anything like that, any sort of work that you could show a prospective employer, to show that you can actually be an asset as opposed to a team taking a shot on you, which I think, at least especially when we broke in, that was more the mindset, at least for myself, was, I know I can do the job. I know I can go in and work my butt off. But nowadays that's all good and great. But being able to set yourself apart and really show a team that you can help the team is a way to go. So whether that's coding or writing reports, that's going to give you a huge leg up.
Awesome. All fantastic info there, Chris. Where do you see baseball going in the future? Do you see this data and statistical information continuing to grow within the baseball operations world?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, we've seen a boom the last few years. To the technology, especially analytics. That's sort of been on the rise for a bit now, and but the technology is now the new facet. So it's really coupling the technology, whether it's high speed video or blast motion. If we're looking at swing, your exit velocity, launch angle. So having the video and the data, has been a game changer. Teams are we're just going to be continuing to look for the next edge. So yeah, we're only going to see more and more of that, I think. There's ebbs and flows, obviously, with the baseball industry. And right now, I would say the industry as a whole is looking for bright people, for sharp people. You're seeing a lot of college coaches hired, guys who've worked at Driveline. So you're getting away from your traditional coaches, the guys who've been around for 30 years, or the former players. They're obviously still involved. There's always a balance, but you're definitely seeing a shift. And I would say, especially on the technology side, we're going to see more and more of that. I think along with that, there's going to be more regulation from MLB. Obviously, the sign stealing has been an issue in the past, and teams just want as much as we can get, right? We want all the cameras we can get. We're using this stuff for the coaches and players and trying to get everybody better. But along with that, there's got to be some regulation. So that's always the give and take there as the new technology is introduced to baseball. The reaction from the league and teams, and finding the competitive advantage with the readily available technology to everybody is huge. So it's been fun to be a part of the last few years, for sure.
So, Chris, we all have a passion for baseball, for sports. We all enjoyed our time with the Pirates and created some great friendships. But you've been in baseball since that internship. What do you love most about your job right now, and what the future holds for you?
Okay. I guess starting out, it was just working in baseball, right? Just fortunate enough to go to work every day, punch the clock, and be working in a sport that you grew up watching and loving, right? Now, especially this year, and I think this would have been my answer before this year, but this year, especially with everybody being remote for the most part, it's just being around your guys, whether that's you're at an affiliate and you're with the coaching staff and your players, or the video room down here in Tampa, showing up every day and just working with the same guys every day, and grinding, putting out fires. Just being with your guys. So that's what I have missed the most. Obviously, working in baseball is a tremendous opportunity, something I'm thankful for. But this year especially, working remote, it was different, and not being at the park every day was something that I, and I'm sure a lot of people miss, whether you're working, whether you're a fan, whatever it is. So the same rings true for me too. I would say that's my favorite part, though.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things of working in baseball was at the end of the game, and you were the last to leave the stadium, or maybe you're the first to get into the stadium. Like that was just a special moment when it was all quiet after a bunch of fans were cheering, and you just had this, like, that was a successful night. So I get that, and great answer.
Thank you.
Chris, as we look back on 2020, we know it was an incredibly challenging year for the sports industry, for all industries throughout the country and really throughout the world. As we move into 2021, we're seeing the NBA season just recently started. It looks like no fans. NHL is about ready to get started this week. Looks like no fans on their end as well. So as 2021 gets rolling with Major League Baseball, we know that there's a push to obviously get fans to these games as well. It does look like it's probably going to be limited in most instances. So it's going to be another challenging year in the sports industry. All these organizations are struggling to keep their staff employed. Nobody wants to let people go. With that being said, there's still a lot of young people that are looking to break into this industry. I know you alluded to it a little bit on an earlier question, but if there's just a couple skills that some of these young people can have, what do you think are most important to get them with that foot into the door and break into the industry?
I guess I'm sort of doubling up on my answers now, but the skill sets that you can use day one for a pro team that's the biggest thing. Speaking Spanish, if you want to work in minor league operations, you're going to be dealing with a lot of Latin players. Obviously, being bilingual and being able to handle player request or contract issues, housing issues. Again, working hard is the expectation, right? But if you can come in day one and SQL and you can work in a QA department and use R to work on whatever task they have for you. It's obviously easier said than done to get that relevant experience. But the more you can do to prepare yourself and put yourself in a situation where you either already have a background and can do it right away, or you're at least familiar and can be coached up a little bit, that's going to be huge. The other thing that I preach this year is just the patience and diligence. It's tough out there, obviously that goes without saying. But don't be discouraged this year, especially. That right now there's just so much uncertainty that teams are basically frozen. We're not making hires, or we have to wait for budgets, kind of deal. So don't get discouraged. This year I think is viewed as a repeat year in a lot of regards. Obviously it was a lost year for players. You might see a lot of players repeating a level. You might have hoped they might be a AAA in 2021, but the same goes for employers and employees, I think. There may be guys who were hired and never even reported, but are being brought back, for 2021, which is great, but that means there's no opening this year. They didn't have the year of experience and hopefully move on. So patience, you gotta have patience, and then just the diligence. Like I said, don't get discouraged. Keep grinding. Keep reading fan graphs, and whatever you can do to stay involved and just be able to, when the time comes, have a conversation with somebody who is in baseball and who's a prospective employer. If you can show that you've been keeping up on what's going on, and you've got some knowledge, that's even if we're not hiring, we have plenty of informational interviews. Just putting yourself in the best situation to succeed, even if there's not an opportunity, is huge. So just keep grinding, keep hitting it, and don't get discouraged. Would be my advice, on top of the relevant experience and skill set.
Chris, I love it. That was all great information. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule. And we know you're a busy guy. So thank you for coming on with us. And we enjoyed hearing about your journey through baseball and the sports world. And you shared a lot of great information. And one thing that stuck out towards the end there that you said is not to give up and be persistent. So I love it. Obviously, this year will probably have its challenges just like last year. But as long as you continue to grind and you don't give up, good things will come. So awesome stuff that you shared with us. But it's always great catching up, Chris. Thank you again for coming on with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good talking to you. Thanks for having me on. Love what you guys are doing.
Absolutely.